Hey guys, Mark Lyon here, Lion Horses. Today, I'm going to give you some information that I normally ask my interns. So if you're interning with me or you are going to go to a clinic with me, if you know these things, you will go to the head of the class, as they say, because they're questions I a lot of times will ask, and we talk about it. And they're kind of foundational things that if you're going to train horses or as you're training horses or as you watch other people train horses, you need to understand where they're going, where they're coming from, and be able to kind of assess how that's going in the process. So these are kind of foundational stuff. So we are going to go, I guess the best way to say it would be, there are 4 factors that go into the training of a horse or the making of a trained horse, that there are 4 basic factors. They can be summed up. All the training stuff can be summed up into 4 factors. And if you change one of the factors, it's going to change the outcome of the horse's training, the quality of it. So when I'm working with interns, this is one of the first things I'd have them go over. And normally part of when people are interning with me is I want to get them to think. I want to get them to process information and really analyze things, and really getting them to kind of think outside the box is a little bit of probably some of the first things I have them do. So I kind of have them work with this a little bit. I kind of pose this question to them, and then I kind of tell them yes or no or give them hints, and generally it takes quite a while for most interns to get through all 4. They'll normally get 1 or 2, and then the other ones, not so good. But we are going to give you all 4 of them today. We're going to kind of go through all 4 of the factors that go into that making of a good horse or making of a trained horse. And what I tell the kids at first, and when I'm talking to people, I say, because they'll start off with stuff that's horse related, and I said, don't worry about horses, don't think about horses. The same 4 factors go into making dinner. If you're going to make dinner, the 4 factors are the same. And it's probably a little easier to go on. It's a little easier to figure those out. So, and what I tell, especially the kids, I tell them, look, these are so important because no matter what you do in life, if people are making it or building it or whatever, it's the same 4 factors. And so if it's a life skill that you guys need to know, would be able to assess what went into that and if it's good or bad, and be able to tell the quality. So we're going to caveat to dinner for a second, and then we'll come back to horses. So the 4 factors that go into making dinner are the quality of raw ingredients. So if I give you some farm fresh, just perfectly ripe, right out of the field, vegetables and fruit and this and that, it's going to be way easier for you to make a really good dinner than if I give you something that's been on the shelf an extra few days and it's really close to expiration date. Like it's not as good. Or maybe if you're talking about beef, you have if you have a prime cut of meat, and that cow was in a feedlot for a while, and man, it was raised to be really, the tenderness of the meat was of its mom and dad. It was bred to be very tender, and it was fed right conditions. Way better than, well, it was the old milk cow that quit having babies, so we used it for hamburger. That's the cut of meat is not nearly as good. So the quality of raw ingredients that you use is going to have an effect. Okay, the next one is the skill of the person doing the work. And so in this case, it'd be the chef or the horse trainer. And the better they are, the more skill they have, the better the end result. I can cook dinner, and one of those famous chefs can cook dinner. Using everything else being the same, their dinner's going to be better than mine because I don't have as much skill as that person does. even if you use the same ingredients. So that's the second one. The third one is time spent working. So if I say you have 20 minutes to make dinner or 2 hours to make dinner, the 2-hour dinner hopefully would taste better, because, or at least look better, because you're able to present it better and you're able to do more with 2 hours of cooking time versus 20 minutes of cooking time. You know, the 20 minutes is like get the pizza in the oven and call it good. Make some macaroni or spaghetti or something. It's got to be fast, 20 minutes or less. So the time spent working. And then the other one is the tools and equipment you have to work with. It's way easier to make dinner, a really nice dinner, in a fully stocked kitchen with all the latest utensils and tools. It's a little bit tougher to make it on a campfire in a Dutch oven, right? And we all know, like, if you've been around campfire cooking, there's some guys that can make some really good campfire cooking. It's really good, but it takes more skill than put the biscuits in the pan and turn the oven to 350. If you're doing it in a Dutch oven, you got to know how much heat you have and how many briquettes to put on top and how many coals and how long, and it's a little bit more, takes a little more skill to do it that way. So those are the 4 factors. When we go back to horse training, it's the skill of the raw, or the quality of the raw ingredient. And that, if you have something that's bow-legged and sway-backed and ewe-necked and a not very good disposition, and his mother bucked most of the people off, and his dad was kind of one they just couldn't get to train, so they decided to breed it, the baby might not be the easiest one to train or the most athletic, because conformationally they're a little bit of a train wreck. So the other ones, man, its mom got along with everybody, and the dad was one of the best, best easily trained, and they were both really athletic and won some money. Now it's a better chance, not guaranteed, but better chance that baby's going to be more willing to be trained and athletically put together a little bit better. So quality of raw ingredients, the trainer. If we send a horse to a really good trainer, we expect it to be better than when we send to the local yahoo down the road that doesn't know anything. So like I say, the skill of a trainer has an effect on that. How much they work, how long you leave it there. If you leave it there for 6 months or a year, hopefully it should be better than if you left it there for a month or 2. So I have won lots of competitions because I put in more hours, I put in more time into my horse than somebody that was actually a better trainer than me. They just didn't have as much time on their horse. So, they didn't work as hard. I worked harder and I was able to beat them. So the time you spent working and the tools and equipment you have to work with. And a caveat of this is, the better trainer you are, the less tools and equipment you need. So if you're the better cook you are, the less tools and equipment you need to be able to turn out that really good quality meal. So anyway, those are the 4 factors, the 4 basic factors that go into training a horse. And it goes into, like I say, they're universal. You can use those whether you're building a house or building a car or making dinner. Those 4 factors are going to be the same. If we're doing it, those are basic life lessons I think are good for all the interns to know. And like I say, if you go to one of my clinics, the subject may come up. So now you have a little bit of behind the scenes information that you can wow everybody at the clinic with. So remember, we're all trying to be the person our horse deserves, and knowing some of the basic stuff is an important part.